Every culture on Earth independently discovered the same ritual: draw a circle of salt and nothing can harm you. They were all correct. That's exactly what makes this terrifying. Salt has been used for protection across nearly every culture on Earth. Ancient rituals, folklore, horror traditions, they all agree on one thing. Draw a circle of salt around yourself and nothing can touch you. You are untouchable. You are safe. But what happens when the circle works exactly as intended? And that becomes the problem. Picture this. A woman named Mara discovers her home is haunted. Not the flickering lights kind of haunted. The kind where you hear breathing that isn't yours. The kind where you wake up and something is already watching. A neighbor, an old woman with knowing eyes, tells her the solution. Draw a complete circle of salt around your bed before you sleep. Nothing malevolent can cross it. Nothing can reach you inside that boundary. So Mara does it. The first night, the breathing stops. The watching stops. She sleeps for the first time in weeks. The circle works. Here is where the tension shifts, because she keeps doing it every night. The circle gets thicker. She starts reinforcing it during the day. She stops leaving her bedroom because breaking the circle means vulnerability. She tells herself she will fix the circle and go to work tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes the day after. Delivery bags pile up outside her door. She stops answering calls. Her sister finally breaks in 3 weeks later. Mara is alive. Barely. She has not eaten properly. She has barely moved. But the haunting is gone, and Mara cannot understand why everyone is horrified when she tells them she won. She is protected. The circle is unbroken. She won. This story cuts straight to something psychological and primal. We are wired to seek safety. That instinct is not wrong. But safety mechanisms can become their own kind of prison. The circle of salt is a perfect metaphor because it is genuinely protective and genuinely destructive at the same time. The threat it keeps out is real. The cost of maintaining that protection is also real. And the tragedy is that Mara never stopped being rational by her own logic. Every decision she made inside that circle made sense given her starting assumptions. The horror here is not a monster. The horror is a coping mechanism that calcifies into a cage. Think about the ways we do this in real life. The person who stops leaving the house because the world feels dangerous. The relationship that becomes a fortress against loneliness, and eventually a fortress against everything else too. We build our circles of salt, and sometimes we forget we were supposed to leave them eventually. That is the thing about protection. The best versions of it are temporary. They get you through the danger, and then you dismantle them and walk back into life. The worst versions become permanent. They become identity. They become the reason you stopped living while technically still breathing. Mara won. The haunting ended, and she was still trapped inside a circle on the floor of her bedroom, unable to remember what safety was actually supposed to feel like. Some circles you draw around yourself, and some circles draw themselves around you. The salt looks identical either way.